Experts predict we'll see a shortage of nearly 122,000 physicians by the year 2032. That's according to data published by the Association of American Medical Colleges. And now opinion contributors at USA Today are saying nurse practitioners can help close the healthcare gap. They cite a Duke University study that says nurse practitioners can provide comparable primary care, and care from nurses is less expensive. The contributors say one problem is that a number of states have legislation that impacts just how much care an NP can provide. On the other side, though, of the argument, the nonprofit Physicians for Patient Protection says nurses cannot replace physicians. The nonprofit is made up of practicing and retired physicians, residents, medical students, and assistant physicians. They recognize that nurses play an important role in the healthcare system, but say that they don't have the same training and education as MDs.
Sometimes even very subtle things can be missed. So for example, often that, subtle stroke or heart attack or something that might be more serious, your primary care physician can pick up on only because, they've had all that extensive training to recognize when something might be slightly off.
Ultimately, it's up to you to be an advocate for yourself. You have every right to ask as many questions as you need before scheduling a doctor's appointment. Some questions you can ask: what type of training your doctor has received and if they're board certified. Also, it's okay to ask if you'll see a physician during your visit. Well, whether the ballot you cast is kept as safe as possible depends on how you vote. Tomorrow we'll show you the 3 most common voting machines and whether the one you use is the most secure.
All right, be ready with the heavier winter coat tomorrow morning. We're going to start off with temperatures in the teens, but the sunshine is back. That'll get us into the mid-30s on Friday. But look at the warm-up just in time for the weekend. 47 on Saturday with some sunshine, few clouds. Still dry, though, on Sunday with a high of 50, and it's Monday that you're going to need that umbrella. Highs in the middle 40s. Thanks for joining us here on the Now Indy. The news at 6 o'clock starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A tanker hauling jet fuel overturns, causing an explosion, sending flames and smoke into the sky. The driver rescued. Traffic stopped. We update you as the cleanup continues.
I was absolutely terrified to go back.
Teachers hurt on the job by their own students. A Call 6 investigation into teacher injuries and what's behind the growing problem.
A man is dead after a shooting inside of Circle Center Mall parking garage. Police are searching for the person who pulled the trigger. A live update in moments.
Good evening to you. And first up here at 6 o'clock, a horrific scene on the east side.
A tanker truck full of jet fuel crashes and explodes.
Traffic halted on I-465 and on I-70. The driver of the truck rescued by Good Samaritans, and he is in critical condition at this hour.
Now, this is what we know. Within the last 20 minutes, we've learned that I-70 eastbound at I-465 on the east side is now reopened, but this closure on the I-465 southbound ramp to I-70 east is still in place.
And there's no time frame as to when it will reopen. We are understanding that we have our Nicole Griffin live on the scene right now. Nicole, within the last few minutes, we're learning that I-70 has reopened.
Yeah, and that is good news tonight for drivers heading home for this evening commute. I-70 eastbound at I-465 has reopened, but the bad news tonight is this scene right behind me. This is the I-465 southbound ramp to I-70 east, and you can see still a big scene here at this hour. That is because crews are busy right now trying to clean up all that debris left over from that tanker explosion here today. They are also busy trying to inspect the bridge here before it can be reopened. Here's what we know about what happened. Investigators say the tanker was coming around the curb on I-465 southbound and heading to I-70 east when the driver hit the guardrail. Investigators say the contact split the tank, which had 4,000 pounds of jet fuel inside, and overturned that semi. The driver was able to get out on his own, but then as fuel began to spill here on the scene, there was an explosion. You could see a large black cloud of smoke from miles away. And tonight we do know that driver is listed in critical condition at Eskenazi Hospital. State police say he suffered serious burns, but investigators say it was Good Samaritans here that helped him once that tanker exploded.
He was standing near the truck when it exploded. That caused injury to him. He came down the hill where the bystanders put him out. The state police were able to put him in a car and care for him until IEMS got here.
Without question, those Good Samaritans saved this driver's life.
And tonight, we just spoke with an INDOT spokeswoman who says it could be hours and hours before this I-465 southbound ramp to I-70 reopens. That is because they might have to have crews come out here and patch the top of that ramp. We will be sure to keep you updated on when it reopens. Reporting live tonight, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Nicole, thank you for that update. And we show you what's still closed, what's open, and the detours you can take around the tanker crash scene. Plus, we have a photo gallery showing how this all unfolded today. That's all up right now on the RTV6 app and our website, theindychannel.com. Just click on this story.
I had the idea that it could happen, but I never dreamed it would be this bad.
Teachers hurt on the job in Indiana classrooms. A disturbing reality uncovered by Call 6 Investigates.
Those numbers to me are just so high, and something has to be done because really we shouldn't be having any.
And only on RTV6 tonight, for the first time, you're hearing directly from teachers who say this problem has reached a breaking point in our schools and your children are at risk.
Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been tracking this issue for months and joins us with why some say Indiana classrooms are in chaos. Kara.
Mark, we put together a survey asking teachers if they've been injured on the job and if their injury was caused by a student. More than 400 educators responded, and most told us yes. In fact, many are thinking about leaving the profession. It's a problem that's largely remained hidden until now. And now one teacher is coming forward after getting hurt her first month on the job.
Very excited, very looking forward to having my own classroom, and then it just quickly went downhill.
One of Hannah Mooney's students in her classroom at Elwood Elementary took up most of her time, and Hannah says the second grader was violent.
It was to the point where every few minutes we were dealing with an outburst that resulted in him turning the room upside down.
Hannah says she and other teachers begged administrators for training to deal with the situation. Hannah says that training did not happen. And 2 weeks into her teaching career, that student had a meltdown and was put in a consequence room here at Elwood Elementary School.
And next thing we know, it sounded like a bomb went off. He had broken the door handle off and it hit the metal instead. My ear was on the other side and it went straight into my ear.
Hannah suffered 80% hearing loss in her right ear and now relies on a hearing aid. Everyday activities are now difficult, even things like watching TV or taking a walk.
Describe what it sounds like right now. It just sounds muffled. Like muffled is my biggest word.
We asked to speak with the Elwood school superintendent, and he declined. But records obtained by Call 6 Investigates show Hannah's incident is one of 14 staff injuries involving students at Elwood schools since the 2017-2018 school year. Some injuries Call 6 found include a substitute teacher stabbed with a pencil, a school nurse bitten, a teacher's aide kicked by a student. And Elwood is not alone. Call 6 Investigates filed records requests with 24 school districts in central Indiana for teacher and staff injuries involving students. We counted more than 1,500 incidents and found all kinds of injuries, from teachers being hit in the face, punched, and headbutted. After Call 6 Investigates exposed this issue in November, we couldn't get any employed teachers to talk with us.
So many people are scared to come forward about it because of, blacklisting. There's just the stigma around it.
So we asked this group of retired teachers to weigh in. They have nearly 100 years of combined experience in the classroom.
I've had children that have thrown things at me, and there were a lot of teachers that were injured by students, either by, throwing desks at them or kicking them.
When we asked these retired teachers an important question,
why do you think this is happening?
Their responses,
the students do not have consequences,
were nearly the same.
It's unacceptable behavior and there should be consequences for it.
The lack of consequences for behavior.
Janae Hanger, founder of the Positive School Discipline Institute, has a different take.
Why is this happening?
Most classrooms are safe, but there are some classrooms that have very negative learning environments. If a teacher is not safe in the classroom, neither are her students.
Hanger says when schools take harsh, zero-tolerance approaches to student behavior without looking at why a child acts that way, it puts students and staff in harm's way.
We need to start getting to the root cause of behavior and starting to address those root causes of behavior before they escalate into things we can't address.
Teachers we talk with say large class sizes and a lack of school counselors put them at greater risk for injuries. The Positive School Discipline Institute has trained employees from 54 schools.
Man, just that is a big step.
On how to build relationships among teachers, administrators, school police, students, and parents. Hanger says the approach can help prevent situations like the one that Hannah went through.
We need more training, and anytime you lock a kid in a room, you're escalating the situation. You're not calming it down.
Hannah Moody is still struggling to live with hearing loss. She's taking a new direction with her career and is now studying to get her master's in library science.
Are you giving up teaching?
Yes.
What is that like?
Heartbreaking, sad, because that's what I wanted to do. But to go back in the classroom, I don't trust anyone anymore. I don't trust that I'll be supported.
As you can imagine, this was a difficult story for Hannah to share. This was her lifelong dream, to teach, and now she tells me she can no longer imagine being in a classroom again because of what she went through.
And Kara, how does this problem of teachers getting injured actually get fixed?
Yeah, it's a really difficult problem to solve. This is a big problem with not a whole lot of solutions, at least not easy ones. Class sizes are growing in some schools. Training is great, but school districts have to consider how to pay for it. And the other side of all this, the parents. Some people blame the parents for kids that are out of control, and that's where our story continues right now on our website and in the RTV6 app. You can read about some of the struggles parents have when it comes to this issue. One mom we spoke with says children who get violent and their parents are not bad people.
There's always a backstory, and I guarantee that the majority of the parents are fighting just as hard as I do to get their kids the services they need. And I guarantee none of the kids are bad kids.
You can hear more from the mom online, and we'll have much more from her tonight on the news at 11 as well.
And Kara, we know you will continue to investigate this issue.
And I think the hope is that teachers and students will be better protected at school.
Absolutely. And this story is really striking a nerve with people. We have received a ton of emails and responses to our survey, probably more so than any story that I've ever done. So clearly a lot of people have a lot of feelings about this issue.
And sharing experiences.
Yes, definitely. Lots of teachers emailing me today.
All right, we appreciate the hard work you did on the story. Thanks, Kara. Also tonight, a man is dead after he was shot inside the Circle Center Mall parking garage in the middle of the day, and now Metro Police are looking for a killer. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is live outside of that parking garage. Cornelius, what have you found out in the last hour?
Police just sent out another update about this shooting, and they say around 2:30 today they were called out to this garage here along Maryland Street after someone called 911 saying that they had seen a man on the ground who they thought was shot. And just like you said, Mark, that guy was taken to the hospital where he later died. Now, at this time, they think that the victim and the shooter knew each other, but they haven't told us any other information about either of them specifically. Now, they've got the parking garage entrances blocked off as they investigate the scene and talk to witnesses. And you know something, since I've been out here with all the violence that's been happening in our city, so many people have walked by, asked what was going on, and we've told them that police say someone was shot and they died. And although they said this was a sad situation, they said that they were not surprised by this. Now, whenever we get any more updates, we'll be sure to share them with you tonight on the news at 11, and of course on our website and in our app. And also at 7, you're going to hear from a man who's sitting right over there about to talk to me because he wants to organize some sort of event to stop all this violence that's been happening in our city. Live tonight, working for you in downtown Indy. Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
We will see you at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Cornelius. Fatal crime is on the rise in the Indianapolis area.
Tonight we show you a first for Metro Police, how this dog can help police and residents impacted by crime by reducing their anxiety and stress. It's a story you will only see on RTV6.
The girls' state basketball tournament semi-state games are this weekend. Next in our Sports Extra Spotlight, we'll introduce you to an undefeated Triton Central squad hungry to move on after a tough end to last season.
And look what's making a late day appearance. Some sunshine on the western horizon. Question is, how long will that last? And I'll talk about what's just hours away in central Indiana.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Well, a surge in deadly gun violence and the sights and sounds of crime scenes impacts everyone from people who live in neighborhoods to the people who respond to the 911 calls.
Only on RTV6 as Call 6 Investigates, Rafael Sanchez shows us for the first time Metro Police will have a specifically trained therapy dog join its ranks.
Allie is a small canine with a mighty task. The English Labrador is the first therapy comfort support animal set to join Metro Police. The dog will be assigned to IMPD's wellness unit and will help officers dealing with any kind of distress that could impact their mental health.
This allows us to kind of break the ice with the dog. They can relax a little bit, and then they're, more freely to talk with us about things that we can help with. A person's stress, their blood pressure, a lot of things like that will go down just with the dog because it takes away some of that anxiety.
Officer Rob Turner will be the dog's certified handler. Before her arrival, he's leaning on his index cards, learning the commands being taught to the dog in training.
Tells the dog to get out of the car. Unload.
So this dog is going to be able to know all these commands? Mm-hmm. The soon-to-be 6-month-old will call the police academy home, but she will travel as needed to meet the needs of officers, as well as to connect with the community at public events.
Instead of like a high-five thing, it's one of the things called knuckles, which is basically what we all do a lot. She'll be able to do that. So you give, the kids or somebody come up and give her knuckles, and she'll, instead of her shaking paws, she'll actually give you knuckles.
Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And the Wellness Unit connects police with professional services and programs to help officers and their families. While Allie is meant to assist officers, it's possible that she could also help victims of crime. Allie is being trained in Westfield. She's set to report to IMPD after March 28th. The department says the cost of the dog and training totals $15,800. Kevin.
Temperatures, well, they'll be way down tomorrow. That's what's hours away. Temperatures in the lower teens, but you can see the uphill climb will be around that 50-degree mark by the time we get to Sunday. Then we'll cool down again next week. Nothing Arctic next week, but the trend as we get beyond the 7-day forecast is for below average temperatures. If you draw a little circle here around this gray, that's the patch of clouds that's been floating to the south from Lake Michigan, southern Michigan, had a few flurries in northern Indiana, but this is breaking up. And just to confirm that, I'll step out of the way. Nice to see some sunshine as skies clear tonight. That sets the stage, though, for temperatures to get even colder. That north wind, it was a biting cold north wind through the day, put our wind chill temperatures in the teens. 27 is the actual temperature in Indy right now. 26 up in Peru, mid-20s in Terre Haute, kind of zero in on the metro area. Everybody within a degree or two of the mid-20s, well below the average, which is 42 degrees at this point. It is National Love Your Pet Day, and Dylan certainly loves Hope. They're both smiling at us. What a great evening to go for a short walk. You don't have to overdo it, but thanks for sending in the picture, Dylan. I hope you're enjoying seeing yourself on TV. We'll wait another couple seconds just so you can kind of soak up this moment. Okay, gotta move on. Temperatures will be cold tonight, down to 13 Lafayette, Kokomo, Marion, Logansport, coldest within the 7-day planner. Temperatures as we get to the weekend and early next week will be 25 to 30 degrees warmer even during the overnight low stage. Tomorrow at noon, 29. Biggest change from today to tomorrow will be all the consistent sunshine that we'll have. Temperatures will make it above freezing. That'll be nice to see. 37's down to the south. We'll make a full 10-degree jump from tomorrow afternoon to Saturday afternoon. Temperatures peak, though, on Sunday with a 50-degree high. The wind will be strong out of the southwest Saturday, drawing in the warmer temperatures. They'll gust over 20 miles per hour. Temperatures upper 40s with all that sunshine, and that sets the stage for the warmer day on Sunday. All indications are rain holds off on Sunday until we get to Sunday night. That's when it's most likely, and by Sunday night, I would say late Sunday night into Monday. Dave?
Guys, if it seems like it's been a week since the Pacers played a game, well, it's because it has been a week. That'll change, though, tomorrow when they open the second half of the season at the Knicks. Just 2 home games over the next 8. We'll hear from Victor Oladipo and company tonight on the news at 11 o'clock. Hey, good evening to you. The girls' basketball state tourney goes into semi-state rounds this weekend. Among the last 4 teams in Class 2A is 26-0 Triton Central. They've already had an amazing season, but the Tigers aren't ready for the journey to end just quite yet. Brad Brown with tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
Their mission this season, just 1 more game.
Losing last year was the main thing that just brought all of our focus together this year.
But if the Triton Central girls are able to keep it going, they'll get another after that one on the state's biggest stage.
We've been ranked #1 since the beginning of the season, and Coach Graham makes sure to keep us in line, and is like, you have to do this. You kind of have to live up to the expectations that everybody's been keeping you up to.
The expectations, it's just off the chart, and they grab it, embrace it, and they accept the fact that the expectation is so high and that the stress level, but they enjoy that, and they just want to do well for their school.
Last weekend, the Tigers won their first regional title since 2012. That came after losing in the regional championship game 2 straight years. This week's trip to semi-state is the culmination of a full year of hard work.
Last year we had all the pieces, but it was more of meshing all the pieces together, getting everyone to work. It, over the summer we started playing, and one game it finally just clicked, and we were like, we can actually be this good. We all are so competitive and we want to be the best at what we do. So I know if I work in somewhere, I'm always going to have an option to dish it off. So I always feel confident whatever I'm doing because I know I have them to back me up.
TC has just 3 seniors on its roster, a ton of talent top to bottom, and an aggressive style on both ends of the court has them winning by an average of 40 points per game.
We're very greedy. We're greedy. You can tell by our defense we're greedy. We always want the ball, and we always want to be the one to make the shot or give the assist, and we're just happy. We're never happy with winning by what we're supposed to win by. We always want to win by more.
It's a program with a long history of success, but this group is ready to make some history of its own.
I remember all the anger and the upset, and all the tears for the past 2 years where it's what could we have done this year? We actually did it, and it's just
This isn't something that everyone gets to do every year. So I tell them, I said, enjoy the ride. 2 more.
In Shelby County, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
That is cool. Semi-states with local teams. Triton Central, they get Linton Stockton on Saturday. Frankton plays South Central in 1A. Greenwood Christian. Blue River. Ellen plays Bedford in 4A. Northwestern, by the way, the only other unbeaten team. State finals next Saturday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Good luck, girls. Hey, Friday tonight, first and foremost from Minneapolis. Last night, not only did IU get a much-needed win, but former Center Grove star Trace Jackson Davis to the rescue. How about the throw there with the left hand? A little juice as well. Part of a season-high 27 points, 16 rebounds. IU hosts 9th-ranked Penn State on Sunday. That'll be another big one down at the Hall. The News at 6 continues after this.
From the 2020 Altima.
Welcome back. Today's RTV6 photo of the day is actually 3 photos from viewer Joseph Nelson in Muncie.
This is perfect for National Love Your Pet Day. These 2 cats are Miss Mona and Miss Lisa. Joseph says when the cats visit their fur grandparents in Peru, their granny likes to crochet and the feline sisters are her fur models.
Well, it looks like Miss Mona and Miss Lisa are staying warm in style. Thank you, Joseph Nelson, for sending in these great photos that we were able to show you. Right, meow.
I love them. And those little kitties are totally posing. I love it. If you want to see your photo of the day, email it to news@WRTV.com. If we select your picture, it will air here on the News at 6. That email again is news@WRTV.com.
How about that sunshine right before sunset? So good evening. So I lost a button during the show, but look who fixed it during the commercial break. Mr. Mullins has my jacket
Working for
secure.
you and working for us. Thank you, Mark.